Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hoping you have a fantastic day. Welcome back to the office. So yeah, I'm back on track here. Thanks again so much for your patience. Went to Dubai for a couple weeks there for Token 2049. It was awesome experience. I'll be able to share that share that information more so here on my TikTok, Telegram, and Twitter. Feel free to check that out at your own time. I do have a TikTok now, of course. If you're curious, jump on down below. We'll use that link and provide your support. Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solana, see what's going on. We're going to double check a couple of things here, kind of help understand where we're at in the big picture, because again, it's not pretty. Anyone who took longs here recently, that one low 130 range, got swept pretty hard. Again, there were some false positives in the market there. Bitcoin showed a lot of bullish strength yesterday, and then overnight just drops like really hard. Okay, so again, a lot of that happens right now. Unfortunately, that's manipulation 101, standard stuff. But when we look in the last 7 days, we can see there's no more liquidation levels left for Solana, so that does imply we could see recovery. It doesn't necessarily mean we will, though, either, because again, when we look at the monthly, there is still a little bit of liquidation down at 125, so we could see one more last little leg down before the next leg up. But generally speaking, this is a good thing. I want this to be construed as positive. Now, is it phenomenal that the price action is retesting our more recent low that we've tested 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times now here in the last, how many trading days? That's roughly the last 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so we got some interesting behavior here for Solana. Let's double check a few things to kind of make sure we're on the right track, okay? Because again, this little area that we're in right now, it's not pretty, but it's also kind of good, and I'll explain what I mean by that here. Okay, so first of all, when we look at the larger time frames here, with our simple moving averages, we lost 100-day SMA. Actually got rejected off that yesterday, and then here today, pushing down towards the 200. So do I think we're going to see low $100 mark for Solana? Probably not, but it might be best to expect that. Expect the worst, hope for the best, right, folks? Because again, we're descending with this trend line here, okay? So if you see this pretty obvious level, we can see that the price action is not looking good, and we are descending pretty significant. So we're just kind of look at our previous support and resistance levels. We do take a look here. We had some support at this 122, and that is an area just below the price, okay? So what we could very well see happen here, once more, is a sweep down to that lower level where the price action comes down and then it instantly recovers. So I would not be surprised if we see a little bit lower here, but I'd be very careful shorting Solana at this point, even though we are at a support level. It's not really ideal or appropriate to consider shorting into a support. If we close below this level, maybe a different story altogether. But wouldn't be surprised if we see that last little bit of liquidity down here get swept, which is once again roughly about 125. But for the most part, there's not a lot left to the downside, which does imply we could see a relief rally. Okay, having said that, everything looks pretty bearish here, minus money flow index increasing. So people are starting to buy a lot more at this lower level. This is actually a good sign, but if we zoom out, let's quickly note here for the amount of volume. Ever since we've been in this range of roughly, just say 120 plus, we've seen the most amount of volume at 130. Okay, so everybody's trying to accumulate at this level, both now and also before. Okay, that tells us we have a lot of support here, and the likelihood of the price going too much lower is fairly low. So to me, it would make sense for this coin to recover here soon, mostly based on a liquidation standpoint, that there's hardly anything left, but also based on the simple fact that we have some nice support in this range, and I think that's going to provide some support for us. But let's look at a couple of other things here too, just to kind of clarify, because there is no doubt that this is not like an optimal situation by any stretch, right? We've got a MACD divergence here, we've got RSI at 30, which is typically a bouncing point, but money flow index is right there with it, telling us we could see a little bit further down, okay? Same thing with stochastic as well, swinging down pretty hard. There's a lot of reasons why taking a long position right now would be more risky, but again, depending on your position size or just depending on how you plan to get in and out of the trade, might be a different story altogether, right? So if you're going to be scalping or whatnot, maybe consider that. I mean, if you take a look at our, our Premium Plus group here, we saw some really sweet trades here. Solana, ETH, XRP, AVAX, Cardano, BNB all hit their targets here. Most of those were 8 to 10 hours, but there was a couple of older ones too. So again, scalping is much more successful than taking a swing trade, honestly. It's just the way it goes right now. But once more, depends on your margins and what your risk tolerance is. Some people ask me why I have such a loose risk tolerance, and it's because of manipulation of the market the way that it is right now. You set your limit orders at specific key resistances and invalidation levels, you can actually find a lot of success there. So yeah, it just depends on how you decide to trade. Either way, last but not least, hourly, Ichimoku Cloud, we can confirm we have 100% reasons not to take a long position here, and just generally speaking, this is basically a very bearish situation. Okay, so there's no other way around it. I hope this made sense. I described this correctly. Thank you again so much for watching. Do me a favor, comment below, like, subscribe, and follow. Check out my Twitter, Telegram, and now TikTok. And of course, I'll just be bringing more relevant updates to you there. And then, of course, TA on YouTube, of course, as per usual. So thank you again. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Take care.